My dear, you have been living under a spell, a deeply embedded enchantment you may not even recognize as a cage. It is a curse, a subtle but potent hex cast upon you the moment you drew your first breath in this world. This spell was woven from the collective fears of generations, a phantom lineage of lack passed down until it felt like truth. It is the insidious whisper in the quiet moments of the night, the cold knot in your stomach when a bill arrives. It is the voice that told you that you are fundamentally small, that your destiny is to toil and want, that life is an exhausting uphill struggle, and that true, effortless, joyful wealth is a prize reserved only for a chosen lucky few. But I am here right now in this very moment to shatter that illusion. Hear my voice as the hammer that cracks the glass. That entire narrative is a lie. A grand, elaborate, and utterly powerless lie that has held you captive for far too long. Every single time the words "I can't afford it" have passed your lips, you were not merely stating a fact, you were casting a spell. Every moment of envy, every pang of resentment towards another's success, every sigh of resignation that things like that don't happen to me, has been an act of unknowing magic. With each of those phrases, you have diligently, unconsciously, tightened a poverty hex around the very essence of your soul. You have been a powerful magician all along, but you have been casting the wrong kind of magic, meticulously building the very prison from which you long to escape. But I am here to hand you a new spellbook, to break the old curse so completely that you will forget it was ever written, because the fundamental, unshakable truth is this. You were born rich. You arrived on this plane of existence, wealthy beyond measure, rich in spirit, overflowing with a unique divine energy that only you possess. Rich in power, with the capacity to shape reality, to command circumstances, and to draw forth experiences from the ether. The key to unlocking this boundless inner treasury isn't to work harder, to struggle more, or to sacrifice your joy. The key is to speak with the voice of command, the voice of the sovereign ruler of your own life. What if I told you that a specific set of words, a precise sequence of verbal vibrations whispered from the pages of a century-old book, held the catalytic power to resurrect the dormant wealth within you? What if the code to your personal vault was not a number, but a sentence? Stay with me, listen closely, and open your heart, because the chains are about to fall away. Your own magnificent resurrection begins now. I want to tell you about a soul named Leo, a painter, a true artist whose hands were fluent in the divine language of color, texture, and light. He could capture the soul of a sunset on canvas, yet his own reality was painted in dull, oppressive shades of gray, choked by the relentless dust of unpaid bills and final notices. The pure, unadulterated joy he once found in his art, the very reason he was put on this earth, had been suffocated by a gnawing, ever-present fear. This fear was a curse he repeated to himself daily, a dreadful mantra that echoed in the hollow chambers of his heart. There is not enough. There is never enough. He was trapped in a cage of lack, a prison meticulously constructed and reinforced by his own words, his own beliefs. He didn't realize that the relentless anxiety of lack is a venom that stifles the divine magic of creation. One bleak afternoon, driven by a need to escape the four walls of his cold studio, he wandered aimlessly through the city streets. He found himself drawn into a dusty, forgotten bookstore, a sanctuary of silence and forgotten stories. As he drifted through the aisles, a slim, unassuming volume on a high shelf seemed to hum with a strange energy. It seemed to call to him. The title was The Game of Life and How to Play It. Its author, a woman named Florence Scovel Shinn, a metaphysical pioneer, a voice of wisdom reaching out to him from nearly a century ago. He pulled it down, the aged paper soft beneath his fingers, and opened it to a random page. The words he read were not merely words, they were a key, a map, a revelation. The book spoke of life not as a battle to be endured, but as a game to be played. A game with clear and simple rules, and the most important rule of all was this: your word is your wand. Leo felt a jolt, a profound and electrifying shock that ran from the crown of his head to the soles of his feet. He realized with a terrifying gut-wrenching clarity that for years, for his entire adult life, he had been wielding his wand with reckless abandon. He had been speaking words of lack, painting his reality with the colors of struggle, and constantly affirming the very state of not-enoughness that he so despised. He had been giving the universe, his faithful and obedient subconscious mind, a relentless command for scarcity, and that cosmic servant had delivered it to his door with perfect, unwavering accuracy. He stumbled out of the bookstore, the slim volume clutched in his hand like a lifeline. He went back to his cold, desolate studio, and under the single dim light bulb that hung from the ceiling, he prepared to do the most terrifying and courageous thing he had ever done. He prepared to change his entire world, not by changing his actions, but by fundamentally changing his words. He was about to learn that you don't fight for abundance, you don't struggle for it, you don't beg for it, you command it. The first decree commanding abundance. As Leo sat hunched over the book, the city's noise fading into a distant hum, he learned a staggering, world-altering truth. Florence Scovel Shinn's writing was not gentle encouragement, it was a declaration of cosmic law. She wrote that abundance, vibrant health, unconditional love, and perfect self-expression are not things you must earn or beg for from a stingy, reluctant deity. They are your divine right. They are your spiritual inheritance, encoded into the very fabric of your being. You are not a pauper pleading for scraps in a rich and indifferent universe. You are the recognized heir to an infinite kingdom, temporarily forgotten your own royal lineage. You simply have to claim your inheritance, and the way you claim it, the legal process of this spiritual kingdom, is through the undeniable power of your spoken word. This is the precise moment where you join him. This is where his story becomes your story. What we are about to do is not a practice. It is not a hopeful wish. It is a decree. It is an edict issued from the throne of your own consciousness. Find a quiet space, a place where you will not be disturbed. Sit or stand with your spine straight, a posture of dignity. We are about to speak directly to the invisible forces that shape all things, to the substance from which worlds are born. Take a long, slow, deep breath in, and as you exhale, intentionally release the lie of struggle. Visualize it, leaving your body as a gray smoke, dissolving into nothingness. Take another deep breath, filling your lungs with possibility, and as you exhale, release the ghost of every doubt you have ever harbored about your own worth. Let go of every past failure, every critical word ever spoken to you. Now, prepare to speak. Do not whisper these words as if you are ashamed to be overheard. Do not mumble them with uncertainty. Speak them like the universe itself was created to listen to and obey your voice, because it was. Say them aloud. Let the vibration of your voice fill the room. Let it echo in the chambers of your own soul. Say them with power. Infinite Spirit, open the way for my great abundance. Infinite Spirit, open the way for my great abundance. Infinite Spirit, open the way for my great abundance. Pause. Feel the gravity of that command. You are not asking. You are directing the formless, infinite intelligence to clear a path. You are commanding the gates to swing open. Now let's add the second part of this sacred law. Speak it with the calm assurance of a magnet that knows, without question, that steel will fly to it. I am an irresistible magnet for all that belongs to me by divine right. I am an irresistible magnet for all that belongs to me by divine right. I am an irresistible magnet for all that belongs to me by divine right. Feel that profound shift in your energy. You are not chasing. You are not hunting. You are not striving. You are a powerful gravitational center. You are attracting. All that you require, all the good that has your name on it, is being drawn to you now. Let us deepen this command, weaving the two threads together into a single powerful incantation. Infinite Spirit, open the way for my great abundance. I am an irresistible magnet for all that belongs to me by divine right. The universe is not withholding from you. It has never withheld from you. It is a faithful mirror reflecting your deepest beliefs. It is a loyal servant waiting patiently for your command. It is waiting for you to stop identifying with the pauper and remember that you are the prince. Let us reinforce this command, carving this new truth into the very substance of your being. Infinite Spirit, open the way for my great abundance. I am an irresistible magnet for all that belongs to me by divine right. Infinite Spirit, open the way for my great abundance. I am an irresistible magnet for all that belongs to me by divine right. Do not mumble. Speak it like royalty, signing a decree that will alter the course of a nation. Every single time you speak these words with intention, you are retuning your entire energetic signature. You are aligning your very soul with the high, clear, resonant vibration of wealth itself. You are not hoping. You are not wishing. You are activating a spiritual law as real and as dependable as the law of gravity. Infinite Spirit, open the way for my great abundance. I am an irresistible magnet for all that belongs to me by divine right. Infinite Spirit, open the way for my great abundance. I am an irresistible magnet for all that belongs to me by divine right. Feel the channels of prosperity beginning to clear within you and around you. Sense the subtle shift in the atmosphere. Know, with a certainty that transcends logic, that as you have spoken, powerful, benevolent forces have been set into motion. Your good is on its way. Your supply is already released. It is traveling to you now through a series of surprising events. Leo began to speak his decree every morning upon waking and every night before sleeping. He made it a sacred ritual. At first his voice felt foreign and hollow, in the vast cold emptiness of his studio. The stack of red-letter bills on his desk seemed to mock him, their bold print screaming a different reality. Doubt, that old familiar serpent, coiled in the pit of his stomach, whispering its seductive poison. This is foolishness. You're talking to an empty room. Words won't pay your rent, Leo. Get real. He felt the powerful gravitational pull of his old mindset, the familiar comfort of despair. It was a well-worn coat, and he almost gave in and put it back on. But he persisted. He kept the book by his side, his anchor in a sea of doubt. He spoke the words even when his mind screamed that he was a fool. And then, 3 days later, a message, a ping from his phone that broke the suffocating silence. It was from an old classmate he hadn't spoken to in years. The text read, "Hey Leo, this is so random, but I saw some of your old art on social media. My wife and I just got a new golden retriever puppy, and we were wondering if you'd paint a portrait of him. We'll pay, of course. Let me know." It wasn't a gallery exhibition. It wasn't a wealthy patron commissioning a masterpiece. It was a puppy, a fluffy, goofy, golden retriever puppy. But to Leo, that text message was a clap of thunder from heaven. It was a sign. It was unexpected. It had arrived from a channel he could not possibly have engineered or predicted. It was irrefutable proof. The game was real. The rules were real. The wand was real. He had spoken a new word into the void, a word of abundance, and the universe had just whispered back, its voice playful and immediate, "I hear you, and I'm listening." Smashing the old curses. The next level of magic. The puppy portrait did more than just buy him groceries for the next 2 weeks. Its true value was immeasurable. It ignited his faith. That small, tangible piece of evidence was the kindling that allowed a roaring fire of belief to catch hold in his soul. Eagerly he returned to the book, his new sacred text, and I, Florence Scovel Shinn, through my written words, taught him the next crucial step in this magical process. You must actively and violently smash and demolish the old untrue records that are etched into the subconscious mind. He understood now that his subconscious was like a phonograph, and for years it had played a sorrowful, cursed tune on a loop. I'm a struggling artist. Money is hard to come by. I'm not good enough to succeed. Each time he spoke his new affirmations, it was like a hammer blow, smashing those old worn-out records of fear and limitation into dust. Then he learned another profound secret. Faith is not a passive state of being. It is not a spectator sport. You must act with the faith that you have already received. Florence called this building your bridges before you come to them. This is not about faking it till you make it. This is about faithing it until you see it. It is an act of profound trust. So Leo began to act. He performed his faith. He spent an entire day cleaning his dusty studio from top to bottom, not as a chore, but as a ceremony. He was making space for the huge, magnificent commissions that were on their way. He went out and spent some of the puppy portrait money on a beautiful new leather-bound ledger, and on the first page, he wrote in bold, confident letters, "Major Commissions Ledger." He was performing what I call spiritual dramatization, acting the part of the successful person he knew he now was, long before the evidence appeared in the material world. This is your next vital step. It requires you to celebrate the feeling of the harvest while the fields around you may still look barren. It is the unwavering faith that the seed has sprouted, even when you cannot yet see it above the soil. Breathe in the feeling of glorious success. Imagine the scent of it, the taste of it, the feeling of accomplishment settling into your bones. Now, breathe out the stale, dusty memory of every past struggle. Let us affirm our new reality, not as people who are hoping but as people who are receiving. Repeat these words after me, with the command of one who is stating a simple observable fact. I have a wonderful work, in a wonderful way. I give wonderful service, for wonderful pay. I have a wonderful work, in a wonderful way. I give wonderful service, for wonderful pay. I have a wonderful work, in a wonderful way. I give wonderful service for wonderful pay. Feel the truth of this. Your work is not a chore, it is a wonderful expression of your divine gifts. Your pay is not a struggle to obtain, it is a wonderful and natural return for the wonderful service you provide. Now let us use this newfound power to call forth the impossible, the unexpected. You must release your grip on how it will happen. Your job is not to figure out the logistics. The infinite intelligence of the universe knows the ways and means, and its ways are ingenious and often surprising. My seeming impossible good now comes to pass. The unexpected now happens. My seeming impossible good now comes to pass. The unexpected now happens. My seeming impossible good now comes to pass. The unexpected now happens. Let this be your mantra for miracles. The seeming impossible is only impossible from your limited viewpoint. From the viewpoint of the infinite, all things are possible and are already complete. Now let's combine them. Let this be your new power incantation for wealth and success. Weave them together into a decree of absolute power. I have a wonderful work, in a wonderful way. I give wonderful service for wonderful pay. My seeming impossible good now comes to pass. The unexpected now happens. I have a wonderful work, in a wonderful way. I give wonderful service for wonderful pay. My seeming impossible good now comes to pass. The unexpected now happens. Declare it as law. Own it as your current reality. Your words are the chisels shaping the raw marble of circumstance. Your faith is the catalyst that makes the magic work. Know that all of heaven and all of earth are now conspiring, collaborating and working tirelessly to bring your declared good to you. Its arrival is irresistible. Its manifestation is inevitable. It is happening now. This new, unshakable conviction flooded every cell of Leo's being. It was a light that banished all the old shadows. The gnawing fear that had been his constant companion for years was simply gone. In its place was a quiet, powerful certainty. He looked at his largest, most intimidatingly blank canvas, and for the first time he felt no pressure. He took his brushes and painted not what he thought would sell, not what was trendy, but what was burning like a fire inside him, a raw, abstract, explosive symphony of color and light. It was a painting of faith itself. The puppy owners, delighted with their portrait, introduced him to a friend who owned a chic downtown cafe. The owner, charmed by Leo's new, quiet confidence, agreed to let him hang his new masterpiece in the prominent front window. Days later, a storm rolled through the city, a sudden violent downpour. A woman, a nationally influential art critic known for her sharp eye and even sharper pen, was forced to duck into a random doorway to escape the rain. The doorway happened to be the entrance to the cafe. Annoyed and damp, she glanced into the window to pass the time, and then she stopped. She froze, her breath caught in her throat. Through the rain-streaked glass, she saw not just paint on a canvas, but a story. She saw struggle, a declaration, and a glorious resurrection all in one frame. It was, she would later write, like looking at the soul of a star being born. That very night, she wrote on her famous, widely read blog about her experience of finding a bolt of light in a raging storm. With a sense of cosmic poetry she didn't even understand, she titled her post, "The Unexpected Happens." By the next morning, Leo's world had been completely and irrevocably reborn. His email inbox, once a digital graveyard filled with tumbleweeds and overdue notices, was overflowing. Messages from galleries he had only dreamed of, inquiries from serious collectors, and an offer from a wealthy businessman who had read the blog post for a 5-figure sum for the painting in the window. His seeming impossible good had come to pass. The unexpected had happened. Living in completion, your new reality. Leo's external life transformed beyond his wildest dreams. He was no longer a struggling artist. He was a celebrated one, but the real profound change was the one that had happened inside him. He had learned the game, and now he knew how to play it. He continued his daily decrees, but they were no longer desperate pleas from a place of lack. They became joyous declarations of gratitude, affirmations of the good that was now his constant reality. He was living in the state that Florence Scovel Shinn calls the day of completion. His story is not a fairy tale, it is your map. It is a testament to a law that is as real as breathing. The same infinite power, the same universal intelligence that answered Leo's command is listening right now, in this moment, for yours. It is time for you to consciously step into your own state of completion. This is the ultimate evolution of this practice. It is not about asking for a miracle to come, it is about acknowledging the endless, uninterrupted flow of miracles that is your natural birthright. Let us declare it together. As you speak these words, feel the profound peace and power that comes from releasing all struggle. This is your new truth. This is your new home. Thy will be done this day. Today is a day of completion. I give thanks for this perfect day. Miracle shall follow miracle, and wonders shall never cease. Say it again. Let this be your morning command, the first words that set the tone for your entire day. It aligns you with divine order, a perfect plan for your good that is far grander than anything you could devise on your own. Thy will be done this day. Today is a day of completion. I give thanks for this perfect day. Miracle shall follow miracle, and wonders shall never cease. You don't have to force things to happen. You don't have to manipulate or control. Your only work is to align with the perfect divine plan for your life, and then to simply allow the wonders to unfold before your eyes. Let go of the need to know how. God's ways are ingenious, His methods are sure. The infinite mind knows the quickest, most harmonious path to your highest good. Today is a day of completion. I give thanks for this perfect day. Miracle shall follow miracle, and wonders shall never cease. Live in this truth. Walk in this truth. Expect wonders at every turn. They are not rare exceptions, they are the natural normal state of a mind that is fully and fearlessly aligned with the infinite. Your call to power. You have been shown the path. The story has been told. The key to your own kingdom is now resting in the palm of your hand. Your word is your wand, and for far too long, you have been waving it unconsciously, creating chaos and lack by default. You must understand this. The universe is not judging you. It is only reflecting the truth that you declare. So, the great question is, what truth will you declare today? What reality will you command into existence? I command you, with all the love and urgency in my heart, to begin this sacred ritual. Give yourself the gift of this experiment. For the next 21 days, the time it takes to form a new neural pathway, to build a new habit in the soul, start your morning with these decrees. Before you check your phone, before you read the news, before you let the world's negativity seep in, let these powerful words be the first thing your soul absorbs. To lock this intention into your being, to make a public declaration to yourself and to the listening universe, comment this sacred phrase twice in the section below. Let the digital algorithm itself bear witness to your declaration. Let heaven and earth take notice of your decision to reclaim your power. My word is my wand, and I command my abundance now. My word is my wand, and I command my abundance now. As the miracles, both large and small, begin to appear in your life, and they will, I promise you they will, come back to this space and share your story. Your victory is not yours alone, it multiplies the energy of faith and possibility for every single person who reads it. Your success becomes a permission slip for others to claim their own. Remember this, above all else, wealth is not something you chase. It is not something you acquire. It is something you are. It is your innate state. The same creative power that hung the stars in the sky and spins the planets in their orbits resides within you, waiting for your direction. So go forth from this moment. Speak your word with fearless, unwavering faith. Command your reality with the authority of the air you have always been. You are an irresistible magnet for all that belongs to you by divine right. Claim it, speak it, live it, and watch with joyful awe as miracles follow miracles and wonders truly, finally never cease.